Oberlin College has been ordered to pay $11 million to a local bakery for libel and emotional distress. The brief narrative is some students, Oberlin students, African-American kids, were going to the bakery. They were stealing. They were engaging in all kinds of raucous behavior. And so they were dealt with by the management, who tried to throw them out, tried to hold them accountable for their shoplifting. And to the surprise of nobody, the university blamed it on racism. One high-ranking university official even declared the bakery to be a hotbed of racial profiling. On university property, they made this, and she stood outside the bakery when the protest happened, the inevitable Oberlin College student protest happened, with a bullhorn screaming that the bakery and the bakery owners were racist. And so now, as we had with biology professor Weinstein, yes, in Evergreen College on the West Coast, when the courts get involved with this, the stupidity of these universities and colleges is redressed with extreme prejudice. $11 million they're going to have to pay to this bakery, and that's just the start, because there's possibly a much higher amount of money coming soon.
What makes me question everything is the fact that this happened not on campus specifically, not within, the school classroom or anything dealing with Oberlin College specifically, but they decided to get so involved with it. And now what's happening, you talked about the $11.2 million that they've been awarded, but it's not over yet, because even though the jury awarded the Gibson family this amount of money, the trial is actually still going on, and so they could actually have to pay more money. Donica Thomas Varner is Oberlin's vice president, general counsel, and the secretary for the college. And she decided, after the verdict came out, to send a community-wide email criticizing the decision. And now, according to Cornell Law School professor William A. Jacobson, that attack basically on the jurors, saying how disappointed she was, could mean that Oberlin, since punitive damages have not yet been awarded, could have to pay another $22 million to the $11 million compensatory. The objective of any communications at this sensitive stage must be to first do no harm, according to Jacobson. So it's not over, and they're going to have to pay more, possibly.
You know as well as I do that they're just going to get Judge Smales, a graduate clearly of Oberlin College, and Spalding, his nephew, to write a big $30 million check to cover the cost of this, and then they'll raise tuition to $75,000 a year. But what really gets me here about Oberlin College, notice how quickly they go to victim blaming. This is the same college with all that social justice bona fides, all their radically lefty talking points, and yet what do they do when this poor bakery that was under assault by an institution like with the deep pockets of Oberlin? This is a little family bakery, right? It's not a very big place. It's a tiny little family bakery in a very small place. Oberlin's a very small place. Been around since 1885, right? And so what do? They attack not just the bakers, but now the justice has been done. They're attacking the jurors, right?
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, since it's so confusing if you don't look at the full story, that you have an instance where you're at a little bakery and three people, at this time you just know them not as students from Oberlin College. It doesn't say like they were wearing, t-shirts that said I'm a student at Oberlin, but these three students engaged in shoplifting. And somehow a college gets involved, and unless you read the story and know what happened, you wouldn't understand and make that connection. But you had mentioned how Oberlin Dean of Students, Meredith Raimondo, she's the one who took part in the demonstrations. She used a bullhorn to shout that the Gibsons apparently were racist. Flyers were passed out. This is where the libel comes in, is the flyers were passed out that said the bakery is a racist establishment with a long account of racial profiling and discrimination. And the family, the Gibsons, in their lawsuit, alleged that the college actually suspended classes so that students could protest and provided the protesters with food and drinks. Now, what is so interesting to me is one of the people, one of the three students, the one who actually was the one who had the wine bottles and they dropped and busted, he actually admitted, he said, you know what, like looking back on it, I had a fake ID. I was trying to buy alcohol and then steal it. That's it was my fault. And then that in no way were the Gibsons being racist. Yeah. So he even admitted it, but still, no. They're racist.
It doesn't matter. The narrative is that African-American kids in a sleepy, stupid little liberal arts town, which is primarily white, can never possibly do anything wrong. Oberlin, going back to my Judge Smales analogy, my Caddyshack analogy, you got Oberlin College is Spalding. And Oberlin College is saying to this bakery, I'll have a donut, I'll have a cruller, I'll have a fritter. And a judge just stepped in and said, you'll get nothing like it.